Earlier today, the UN Security Council blocked a Russian initiative to discuss the incident as a violation of international law carried out by Ukraine. With all that in question, we're joined now by RT correspondent Alex Mihailovich, who's been following that council meeting for us. Alex, what can you tell us about this morning's Security Council session?
Well, as expected, the Russian agenda was voted down. The agenda basically was named the violation of borders of the Russian Federation. And as you can expect, the Security Council took a different look or a different approach to this. The vote was 4 in favor, what the Russians wanted, and 7 against, of course, led by Nikki Haley, the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, and the allies of the U.S., including France and the U.K. So this went down as expected when you talk about this. But the way this started off, and it's interesting because you had the UN Undersecretary General say Ukraine claims it had previously notified Russian Federation that ships would pass. So it means that Ukraine was well aware that it had to ask for permission to go through these straits. Now, Russia denies that that ever happened, but even Nikki Haley herself says the straits are routinely used by both nations. Now, something that's routinely used by both nations, you wonder to yourself, so why would this incident happen at this time and at this place? And that's the big question right now. And of course, there's a rift there between the opinions between the United States, its allies, and Russia and its allies. And if you're watching this whole Security Council thing go down, of course, many nations tried to stay neutral, but the lot of questions popped up, and this was dismissed rather quickly instead of the UN actually engaging and looking into this incident a little bit deeper.
And how is Russia responding to that development?
Well, Russia said it basically expected this vote to happen. So the Russian Federation regrets this vote. And of course, the vote won't have any impact in what is going to happen in the future. As mentioned, 3 Ukrainian naval personnel were taken by Russia. They're given medical attention because they were injured here. The Russians say that none of them have any type of critical injuries, that everybody is going to be fine. And moving on from here, you have a question of the ships and what's going to happen with them. And Russia's, it's trying to do a thorough investigation here of why this incident actually happened. Now, there's also been threats in the past by some groups in Ukraine, some of the more extremist groups, that they want to blow up this bridge, the Kerch Bridge here on the Kerch Strait that the Russians built. So, of course, there's a bit of tension regarding that. But also, it's something that you mentioned. There's stuff going on in the Ukraine which makes this timing really suspicious. Knowing that there will be an election in early 2019, President Poroshenko in Ukraine, this is something that really sort of falls into his hands, having this type of incident. And what the Russians are also saying is that this has been given the thumbs up by somebody on the outside, alluding to Western powers. And we have a statement here from the Russian Foreign Ministry, and this is what they said. Clearly, this is a well thought out provocation that took place in a predetermined place and form and is aimed at creating another hotbed of tension in that region and pretext for stepping up sanctions against Russia. Now, this is something that Russia's been saying for a long time, that these tensions that are, when they're increased, that this isn't just the Ukraine, that it's other powers involved here. Other people give them the thumb up when something like this happens. And as mentioned, for Petro Poroshenko, this is a critical time. He's talking about martial law, and when he's talking about martial law, he wanted a full 60 days, and they were trying to cut it down to 30 days. The whole deal is he wants to extend it as long as he possibly can, at least into the election period, and that's the way that you keep power. So that's, obviously this is nothing's written in stone here, but it really does seem very suspicious, and that it does seem to be playing out in that direction.
All right, and you'll stay on top of all of this for us. Alex Mihailovich reporting from Toronto. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.